I'm sorry I never called you back, but you didn't have to get me in trouble, dude.
Yeah, I was just worried about you.
Yeah.
Hey, when I didn't hear back from you, I felt like I had to call your mom because the last time I had seen you, you had literally done drugs at school. So I was like, okay, cool. Maybe she's like having a serotonin drop from hell and she's like suicidal on a bridge somewhere.
I think he's definitely still here.
A lot of people don't ask me about him. They think I'm gonna like cry or something. Thank you.
That is so
You
sweet.
always talk about him around me.
That is so sweet. They're about to kiss, aren't they? I knew that was gonna happen.
Wait. Sorry.
What's wrong?
I'm just going through a lot right now. It's just...
Yeah.
I just don't know if I'm in the right headspace right now.
Totally understandable.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God. I am so sorry.
No, you're okay.
I know, of course you are.
You're
I'm so
perfect.
sorry.
I like you. It's just, I swear you didn't do anything wrong.
I am so sorry.
Don't be sorry.
I am
It's not
so
like
sorry.
that.
I am so sorry.
Oh my God, Veda. She figured out that, you know, just like with Mia, she can like forget for a second if, you know. Are you mad at me? Oh, don't ghost her, please.
Sorry, I almost got you killed in the shooting.
What? Oh, because she texted.
If I hadn't texted you over the stupid period, you wouldn't have left the class or you would have been safe. You could have died.
It's not true.
Oh.
Yes, it is. Quentin's brother died because he was walking in the same hallway.
Oh, sweetie, don't think that.
I wasn't safe anywhere. Definitely wasn't your fault.
Then why have you been so mad at me?
She's not mad at you. Oh my God.
Why do you keep thinking that?
Because you're pushing her away.
You're never home anymore. You never talk to me.
No.
You never went to dinner to talk about periods.
No. Your sister still needs you, you know?
I'm sorry, but I'm definitely not mad at you.
That is so fucking sad. I feel bad for Amelia.
Can I tell you something that I've not told anybody before? It was the scariest moment of my life. The only person I could think of was you.
Oh.
Do you remember when I sent you that I love you text? Thought I only had time to text one person, so I texted you.
That's so fucking
didn't
sad.
know that.
Yeah, she did text us someone.
You're my favorite person on earth, Millie.
We should get married one day.
Oh, fuck a husband. You're my number one.
That's so sweet. I'm glad you're open up, you know.
Don't let go. Life's fucking hard. I'm sorry for saying fucking.
No, you're right. Life's fucking hard.
Dad.
What? No one's around. Try it. It feels good. Life is fucking crazy.
Sometimes he does help letting it all
Yeah. Fuck.
out.
Life's fucking confusing.
I relate to the dad so much right now.
I can't fucking feel anything!
Good one.
Fuck you, Matt Corgan!
Yeah. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm scared to go to school every day!
I'm scared to take my children to school.
Oh my
I'm scared to sleep!
I'm scared of time.
We're not even swearing anymore, Dad.
Still feels good. I'm incredibly proud of how smart and amazing my daughter is.
Dad,
Score.
don't be fucking cheesy! Please! Never again.
Please, did something happen to me? Okay, you know what? I can't take more heartbreak right now, so she better be okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah. My god. I'm just so you're fucking dead, dude. Don't scare me like that.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Come on. Come on.
She's very strong for such a short person.
Do you hate me?
For what?
No. Why would I hate you? Just scared the shit out of me. And I don't regret it.
Oh, you're talking about the...
Just scared it was gonna like ruin our friendship or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm scared of that too.
Is there something more between you two?
Let's not ruin anything. Okay.
Do you guys still want to be making out? Or like, I will support that. I feel so bad for Mia.
Well, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go with you.
No, you're not. We never discussed
Stop trying
this.
to get rid of me. I'm postmating us frozen yogurt.
Oh,
Hi. I'm sorry.
that's so sweet.
I love you.
Sweetheart, I love you too.
I'm gonna try to be more honest with you about my life.
That's good.
I would really, really like that.
Struggling. And I don't know why it's been so hard to tell you. I guess I just didn't want you to worry. And you were right. I was acting funny that time I was drunk because I did have sex with someone. And I was a little bit stoned, but not as stoned as I was when I was on E. Jesus, that was rough. And the person I was having sex with wasn't the person that I thought I was maybe going to be having sex with. But I'm telling you all of this because I want you to know that I'm never going to do any of that stuff ever again. The bad stuff.
Yeah. And the mom is like, I just found out my daughter was stoned, she was drunk, she had sex, and she also was on E one time. How do you react to that? My mom will have been slapping me at this point.
Well, thank you for
The update?
for trusting me
Yeah, very
with this
important.
information.
The mom doesn't know what to do.
Was that too much?
No,
No, it's just... She's just
I'm
processing.
processing.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it was with a girl. The sex stuff? It was with a girl.
So
It's not like I'm gonna get pregnant. That's a bonus, right?
yeah, the year exploring. You know what? Actually, she's reacting completely fine. You know, she's freaking out. She's like, you know, freaking out because she's processing everything and it's a lot to take in. But she's like, okay, you know. Bonus. Yes, exactly. Just drink it all. Yeah.
I'm ready to talk about it more now.
Wine helps sometimes. If you're an adult. Okay? Don't drink if you're underage. That's so cute. They're so cute. Dude, if someone starts shooting right now. Because I feel like it's too quiet right now. Just continue to... That's what I mean. But you guys not actually... Wait. You guys don't live in Ohio, right? It's not your sister, right? No, it's just triggering her, right? It's just triggering. Oh, Jesus Christ. Fuck, man. Oh, God damn it.
Day is over, come to an end. I know your eyes are ready, you can close them.
Okay, guys, so that was the end of the Fallout, or new movie reaction for this week. I have to be completely honest. I was not expecting the movie to be about this. When everybody recommended and everybody was like, "Yeah, you have to watch the Fallout." Like, it honestly threw me off. I thought, and like I saw the two girls in the thumbnail. It was like, oh, it's a gay thing, and well, I wasn't expecting a school shooting movie. I wasn't expecting that. But with that said, that doesn't mean that I don't think it's extremely important to have this type of movies. And, I have seen episodes of TV shows that also deal with this. And, like, most importantly, I do also have, a news feed where I see this happen most of the time, like all of the time, way too many times in the US specifically. I don't know if that's because, I'm going to guess that that's because you guys still have have access to this type of weapons, and I know, but like, honestly, and I will, excuse myself and ask, and apologize in advance, because since I'm not from the US, I have not lived in the US, I have not even stepped a foot in the US. I'm hopeful that one day I do. But the thing is that, it's so different for me. And I apologize that I might, I don't know, maybe sound ignorant at some points, because I honestly not gonna sit here and say I know everything about everything that has to do with this type of stories and with this type of tragic events that happen a lot of the times in the US. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that. And like I have said during the movie, is that for me, it's completely different. My point of view, like if I see something like this happen in my country, like we have already like a lot of fucked up shit happening that, if you guys will search for news from the US to my country, you guys will find a lot of bad shit. Like, I'm not saying, we're excused or like we don't have anything bad happening here. We have a lot of shit happening here as well, but we do not have this because in my country you're not allowed to have a weapon, and pretty much any kind because we don't have that right as you guys do to bear arms. We have never had it, so I'm gonna guess that since all culture has never had it, you really don't have that necessity of keeping it. It is illegal to, like, I'm not gonna say that there are no shootings here. There are not school shootings as much as you guys have because, again, accessing to weapons is very difficult in my country, but of course, if you're on the street and you're with your cell phone out, you sometimes do get shot because they want to rob you, and that happens a lot. It might not be mass shooting, but we still have those types of crimes. But like I said, access to weapons, it's a little bit more difficult in my country than it is in the United States. And like I said, I am completely different from how most people will feel of this necessity of having a weapon in their home to protect themselves. Because if I want to protect myself inside my house, I will not have a weapon. I wouldn't feel safe having a weapon in my home, you know? For me, those are meant for people who are trained and who are police officers or the military. That's basically it, you know? And like people who have who work in security, maybe not even, you know, but like, you know what I mean? That's, for me, that's what it is, you know? But in the United States, I do know that it's a lot more accessible, right? You do have to have a permit, I'm gonna guess, but honestly, you can't, like, you know, go into a shop and buy not only like a pistol, which is already bad, but like military, you know, arsenal. You can't buy that. And to me, that is just mind-blowing. Why in the world will I want to go and have that or show my children how to shoot? Like, that doesn't have, like, that doesn't, like, I don't register that in my head, you know? I don't know if it has something to do with culture or not, but this is just my point of view. So, like I said, coming into the movie, I was really blindsided. I did not knew it was gonna be about this, but they made it feel so real. They did not need it to show us the face of the shooter or what was happening. We could hear it, and like, since this happens way too often in the United States, you could have pretty much painted a picture of what was happening outside. And you hear every shot, you hear the kids running and, you know, things like that. And even when the police comes in, and like, you know, and it's so terrifying, you know, and it's so, in my opinion, so stupid that there are not that is more important sometimes for some. And like I said, I apologize if this is not the way everybody thinks, and I'm not trying to generalize, but how is it that you see this happen one time and then you just say, okay, we're just gonna teach the kids how to hide from the shooter. We are not gonna take the shooter's weapon or the chance of any other person to get a weapon, but we actually train them to escape. And I'm sitting here like we're gonna put a metal detector, you know, because hey, we're doing something. It's not like there are other entries on the school that maybe one of the kids can bring in a gun again. No. We're not gonna do that. You know, we're not gonna take away the right of people to have their weapons. We're just gonna let kids die. You know, we're gonna teach them how to hide, how to barricade their doors. We're not gonna teach them, you know, we're not gonna take away the guns though. So to me, that is just like when you say, like, online sending prayers and things like that, what you really should be doing is trying to change the reason why it's happening. The reason why it's happening is because these kids have access to weapons. You know, at least the news is that I have heard is because where did they got the weapon? They either bought it online or at a store, or it was at their home already because their parents have the guns, you know, and they go and shoot. So I don't know what it needs to take. If it doesn't take, like, because I remember one time there was a shooting at a kids, like really young kids school, like a kindergarten school, and the guy killed a bunch of like 6-8-year-olds, like I think even younger than that. And if that wasn't the reason to, like, you know, stop that, you know, I don't think it will ever be. And like, I think that what this movie really portrays very well is not only what happens in that moment, but the aftermath, the fallout of what happens, you know, because you think, oh, it's just, you know, this thing that happens to them, but yeah, later they're gonna move on. Some of them will be traumatized forever, and this will forever change them. You know, Mia started drinking, you know, putting aside the fact that the parents were never there, but she started drinking. She was afraid of leaving her house, you know. Veda, just shut herself up and like, you know, started drinking and started doing drugs and like just to try to calm herself down, trying to make her feel something because she felt numb at that point, you know, and like how difficult it is not only for the kids that survive this, but for everyone else as well, for their families, for their friends, for their relationships. Because what Veda was saying is like, you know, I feel like my friends from this terrible thing that happened are making something good, and I can't because I don't feel anything. Like she's so numb. And like that whole point of her like thinking that she needs to do something in order for it to be worth it and for it to mean something. And it doesn't have to mean anything because it was a tragedy, you know. It was something unexpected. It was something that it was no one's fault. But the guy who actually committed this crime, the kid that committed this crime, but it's just terrible, you know. And sometimes from tragedy, yes, you can be better and like, you know, take something good out of it, but sometimes you don't have to, and sometimes you don't, and that is okay as well, you know. And I think that it's okay for us to understand that not everybody deals with things in the same way. And what I like it is that this movie kind of took us in a, you know, in a space, in a time for this character's life, but it doesn't resolve it with like, now they are okay, life continues and moves on, and like they are okay and they are survivors and like nothing bad ever happens to them again because of what previously happened. No, it's actually just a look at this time frame in their lives, how they dealt with it immediately after what happened, immediately after the shooting. And then, you know, it ends with the sad reality that they will have to live with this for their entire life. You know, Veda very much as well will have a panic attack every time something like this comes up again, because sadly, if you're not making like bold moves about, you know, to stopping this, things are going to continue. Like it has been like few months for her, and it happened again. And that is the terrible thing there in the United States. One time I was like really thinking about moving to the US and like really, you know, staying there and like living there. And then my thought was like, okay, but that will mean that Josh will go to school there. Yeah, but they shot people there. So for me, that was an extremely big concern. And like I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not putting my son there. But like the bad thing is that it not only happens in school, it also happens when you go to Walmart sometime. Because I also heard a news of like, you know, so you really think about it. Yes, and outside the school and everything, you know, there should be cops and there are criminals and things like that, and it's a little bit different, but it's still scary, right? Because honestly, I'm not saying, oh, my country's so safe, because it isn't. But honestly, the one place that you should feel safe is a school, right? And if we're not making those places safe for kids that really are just there to learn and to grow and to, you know, probably change the world one day, we really don't need to put them through this in order for them to grow, in order for them to change the world. You know, these tragedies shouldn't happen, but sometimes it feels like they need to happen before change can happen, you know, and maybe future generations will actually make something out of it, right? So, yeah. But honest to God, the performances, like, at one point I thought, wait, am I on an episode of Euphoria? I wasn't. But it kind of, it felt like, especially when Veda was, you know, high and all that, it kind of like, wait, are we in Euphoria? What is happening here? But no, you know, but I did like how they explore the characters. I would have loved to see a lot more about Mia as well, but the story was about Veda, and I really liked her as the kind of leading lady of the film. You know, I think it was extremely powerful, everything that she went through, and a completely different way of dealing with things with every single character, you know, because at the end of the day, no one is going to act the same way. You know, you have Nick, who was like, no, this is not going to happen to me. I'm not going to be just some victim. And like, I'm so proud of him and so happy that he, you know, went out and he's the face and he's like, no, this, like, I have to do something to change it. And that is amazing. But I also feel that Veda did an amazing job because she was terrified, and yet she got up on the next day and she went back to school eventually. She did therapy, and like, all those little wins are just amazing. Those are victories for her as well. It's also a big fuck you to the kid that committed this crime, you know, because she's saying, hey, I'm still here, I'm still alive, and she's going to continue, you know, even though it's difficult, because when she got the news, she just broke down, you know, and it was really sad. And then you have Mia, who also didn't took the really nice route of like, you know, dealing with her feelings, but she was alone, basically. So honestly, I don't blame her for anything that she did, because she is, you know, dealing with it in the only way she knows how to. And it's scary, you know, but I'm happy that she went back to doing something that she loves, like dancing, you know, and for her friendship with Veda to continue, which I'm gonna guess is gonna evolve a little bit. It was really cute that, you know, they had that moment, and I do feel like Mia had kind of a crush on Veda. I don't know if Veda did. Maybe she did. I don't know. But she also liked the guy, Quentin. No. That's not his name. Quentin? I don't know how to pronounce it. She kind of also had a crush on him. And you know what? I loved also his point of view in all of this. He lost his brother, you know? And he was nothing but kind. And you know what? And, you know, you know, very caring about how Veda was processing things. And also, you know, kind of like remembering his brother, like not necessarily just being sad about it, because I'm pretty sure that he is, but he wanted to remember him in a good way, and he still felt his brother with him, and that was so sweet. You know, he was so emotionally mature, but, you know, also in his house, you know, things are not going well as well, because they lost a kid. Like that moment where Veda puts all the memorial cards inside of that little box, that just like, you know, they could have easily just make her like read the names or something like that. We could have also joined the vigil and hear the names, but they did it in such a beautiful, tasteful way that really just breaks your heart. You know, how many of these kids die for no reason, you know, because a kid got a hold on a weapon and he, you know, I don't know, and did something awful. It's just, oh God, it's so terrible, and it's so fucking sad, you know. But yeah, this was a really good film. I really enjoyed it. I was not expecting it to be what it was, but honestly, I think that it was very well done, and like I like the way it ends as well. As terrible as it is, that you hear Veda kind of gasping and like not knowing, you know, how to breathe, and you know, you hear her upset. It ends in a way of like, sadly life continues, and sadly things like this and with her experience continue to happen, you know. It was sad. I did like her conversation with her sister as well. It was very, you know, she was like doing her TikToks and things like that, and you think, oh, it really didn't get to the girl, you know, psychologically, you know, emotionally, she's okay. But no, she was actually like blaming herself because her sister was in the hallway when this happened, and it could have been her, you know, and she was also, you know, scared that this might happen to her as well, and that a shooter might come to her school. And like how can you know, deal with that? I'm so glad that Veda at that point kind of went through some things, and she kind of like was open to talk to her sister. I really like that, you know, because I was going to be really sad if she pushed her away again. I was going to be extremely sad, you know. So yeah, I'm glad that they had that conversation. It was kind of like, you know, wholesome. It felt good for Veda to have that with her sister. Her conversation with her mom, when she just lets everything out, it was amazing. The mom was like, okay, wait. You had sex. You were drunk. You were stoned. You were also high in school. And you were experimenting because you had sex for the first time with a girl. And like the mom was like, what does all of this mean? But you know what, her reaction honestly was amazing, because she was like having all these questions, but at the same time she knew that this moments, you know, all of that entire conversation was not about her and how she feels. It was about letting her daughter have a moment to talk to her honestly and open up, you know. So she drank a bit of wine and she went on to be a parent and be there for her daughter. That was really amazing, you know. The dad also, I thought for a minute, oh, the dad really doesn't care, you know, when the dad walked out and he was like, you know, I was like, oh, the dad doesn't really care. And he barely said a word. So when he actually took her out and let her scream, and like, she was like, say all the fucks that you want, all the bad words that you want, that's not the problem. And like, I thought that was a really sweet moment, you know, because I was gonna go on the dad saying, look, the dad didn't even care, but he did, you know, and that's good. And unlike, you know, Mia, Veda had the support of her family, and you see how important that is, you know. Veda did have the support Mia had the support of Veda, and luckily it was, you know, maybe not enough, but it was all she got. And, you know, she by the end of the movie kind of started to try to move on. But you can see, honestly, that having a good support system absolutely helps people who are going through very traumatic experiences, you know. So yeah, it was really good. It was a really good movie. I really enjoyed it, and I'm really thankful that you guys recommended it to me. So thank you so much. You guys are amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys liked it. Please give it a lot of thumbs up if you loved the Fallout. We can continue the conversation in the comment section down below, both on Patreon and YouTube. Patreon does have the uncut reaction, and this has been posted like a month before it was posted on Patreon. So yeah, in case you guys want to have early access and check out all my weekly movie reactions, check it out on the comment section down below. And for now, I think that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys liked it. You guys are amazing. And yeah, for now, I think that's about it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I'll see you guys next time for more reaction videos for more movies. I was thinking about doing a movie for the Disney movie Up, which I have never watched, and now I want to watch. What do you guys say? If you got to this point, let me know if I should do that reaction or recommend me another movie. And for now, that's about it, I think. Yeah. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Mwah. Bye.